welcome to ELH Podcast.
ELH?
Yeah.
Cool.
Remember I had the hat, the cap?
Oh, it says ELH? Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
When I ordered that hat, I specifically put a period after each letter.
Mm-hmm.
But when they shipped it, it never showed up.
Oh, so it was just regular?
Yeah.
Without... What?
Yeah. But I was too lazy to return it.
Yeah, and ask for another one. Yeah.
We can do the intro in Mizo a little bit, and then the rest can be in English.
Cool. What is the Mizo intro that you
The
did?
Mizo intro is just me talking.
Okay.
Yeah, but since we have a guest here today, you could start like introducing yourself, and then I could translate that to.
Gotcha. And
then we can go from there.
First of all, watch my tongue. That's first.
Mm-hmm.
I've been known to curse a lot, but I'll keep it PG for the podcast. Hello, I'm Steven, and I'm Eman's new roommate.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
okay.
we've been chilling. You've seen me in one of the previous videos, but go ahead.
Yeah, coming to Steven niya. Isang tupa roommate kaniya. Ka video dang hanin mo to. Anso, tini so. Nothing else you want to add?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
My mouth tastes like banana, but
Okay, I'll translate that.
that's all. That's
Right.
all I can think about
Yeah.
right now.
Isang tupa ikang ay sang emema. Tini so. Okay, we can get started. All right. Remember the last time we did the podcast in your old home?
Mm-hmm.
That was in the hood.
Yeah. Claire Terrace.
That was when was that?
Probably about a year and a half ago.
Year and a half.
I want to say. I'm not entirely positive.
Right.
But
I just thought
back
of another intro that could be put more context into it.
Tell me about it.
Hey, he ka roommate Tarania Emi ina hin ka look Tara. This one. So that's I said this is my new roommate. I just moved in here, and they'll probably be seeing more of the room, you know.
Gotcha. I like the little chuckle that you did after you said that.
Yeah. But I think you're not used to doing like videos or audios, but you might be a natural.
People keep telling me that, like you could try and you could see if you were a natural, but I just feel weird or like limited. I don't know.
I think you're pretty good at it.
Maybe I'm in my head too much.
Yeah.
I almost definitely am.
But when you play video games,
I appreciate it.
You talk to yourself, or you talk to the TV.
That's true.
Game.
That's true.
That's like commentating. People on Twitch or whatever, YouTube. That's pretty much what they do.
Yeah.
And you do that without long pauses.
It could be. Yeah. I think you're right. I think it could be a good skill set.
Right.
The idea of being a streamer has always like freaked me out for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Just like having a number that's not zero people watching you at a certain time.
Right.
But I feel like it's something you can just get over by doing over and over again.
Oh yeah.
Because practice with anything is like gonna get you where you need to go.
Mm-hmm. That's partly one of the reasons why I do these videos and whatnot, is so I could get better at talking, like whether English or in Mizo. Because like I didn't speak very much.
Yeah.
And
that's a good reason. That's a good reason to do it. Were you doing some of these videos back in high school when you first got here?
No.
No.
Back then I was like, I think I was like a different person. Really.
Yeah. I mean, we all were, but yeah, for sure.
I was like too shy back then,
Yeah.
That's when Facebook came out. What year was that? Like freshman year, Facebook like started becoming.
Yeah, I think so.
Our teacher says you should get Facebook and then connect with your friends on Facebook. That's what they said, because it was like a school thing at first.
Oh.
Like for like classmates to connect with classmates. Yeah.
And you could use it as like a platform to like, I don't know, study and like help each other out.
Yeah. So
I'm sure that's how Mark Zuckerberg intended it too.
So that's the thing. But like, Facebook has changed so much since then.
Yeah. It's so weird because like Facebook, like many other things now, is like really run by ads,
Yeah.
by the ads it has on it.
Right.
You know, like you can tell what influences is what things are influencing Facebook in total
Right.
based on the ads that you see for your personal. And I know they like personalize ads and stuff now,
Yeah.
which is like
Pretty effective. too.
pretty effective, and also like low key an invasion of everyone's like privacy and personal mental space.
Oh yeah.
But
You know how accurate that stuff is? Because when you're
Yeah.
thinking of like buying something, sometimes
Yeah.
it's on there. It's literally
Yeah.
on there.
for sure. Amazon does the same thing. It's like if you search anything on Amazon, it's like, hey, you should buy this.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, that's exactly what I want to buy.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great suggestion.
Right. On Google too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it has the autocomplete thing on.
Mhm.
Like when I start searching for something,
Yeah.
after like the second word,
Mm-hmm.
it auto suggests the
You-
thing in question.
You want to know something weird that happened last night after you went to bed?
Yeah.
Jacob and I were talking about Hawaii and those the islands of Hawaii, basically.
Right.
But we just said the words Honolulu and Hawaii. I hadn't done any search on my phone. I go into a web browser and the auto suggestion was both Hawaii and Honolulu, and I was really freaked out. I was like, "Damn it! They're listening to me.
Yeah.
They got my microphone, man."
Right.
But
Yeah.
it was a pretty funny moment.
Yeah.
But it was also like a little intimidating.
But Facebook those days, in the early days, after a little bit, I think, after using it for a couple of months, it was mainly used, I think, for guys to stalk some of the girls.
Yeah, it was very much like almost a dating app
Yeah.
for at the very beginning, and like still,
Yeah.
like people use it that way for sure.
Right. We talked about this yesterday with like Jacob and
Mhm.
like Instagram and
Yeah.
people posting pictures of like the very best part of their life.
Yes,
And
that's very important.
yeah.
And a lot
And
of people.
how do you feel about that? Like how do you see that?
Well,
Do you have an Instagram even?
no, I don't have a personal Instagram myself.
Right.
I have Instagram downloaded on my phone,
Mhm.
but it was because for a brief time I was running the Instagram for our business, College Hunks.
So you're the guy running it?
Yeah, and
Who picked you for that?
I barely did. I took like I had some decent posts, but I didn't care enough. I didn't care enough to do it properly.
Yeah.
But sorry, you asked something?
Yeah. I was asking, how do you feel about that?
How do I feel about like, yeah, Instagram showing like the best parts and
Yeah.
like other social media platforms?
Yeah.
Well, it's not so much that I'm like upset about that being the case,
Right.
but it's more that like I just think that people who are like heavily influenced by social media, and I mean I am to a certain extent. I like use social media and stuff, but like people who would like get very upset
Mm-hmm.
if like one platform or another was taken down. I would just like hope that those people understand that, seeing the best photos that someone puts out
Mm-hmm.
versus like what they actually are like, what they like, sound like, what they, what sort of conversations you can have with them. Those are the sort of things that are, more important than just looking at a superficial photo. I get it. I get that like you want to present
Mm-hmm.
yourself
Right.
out on social media,
Yeah.
but you need to not take it so far that you can't maintain and like sustain personal face-to-face interactions, or that's at least how I feel.
I think from our group of friends, like our guy group of friends,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know anyone who kind of goes hardcore on like social media and trying to flash their life and do this stuff.
Me neither.
Yeah, but I think like our friends are more like into camping and
Well, yeah.
and just
And
hanging out.
I didn't really think about that a whole lot, but that was a lot of our experiences with each other. There wasn't a lot of like talking about each other on social media or like
Yeah.
sending weird messages and memes. I guess memes weren't even a thing back then, but I guess they were. But we, instead of doing a lot of that, we actually did spend a lot of time together and like go camping, like you said, and like go places and just like hang out. Right. And I respect all of our friends a lot for, you know, how we're able to, you know, be together.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting how we're still friends, you know, to this day, because like I think people go through different phases. I definitely went through a certain phase in college where I would kind of isolated myself a lot, and I didn't really like reply to a lot of the hangout invitations. I think it kind of stopped after a while, you know. But at the same time, you know, like we're still friends. And
I've definitely been there too. I've been in like zones where I just want to isolate myself, you know. But I think the value of interpersonal connection, and this is from me, like an introvert, like the stereotypical introvert, like I would kind of disagree with that. You kind of disagree?
I wouldn't say you're stereotypical. You might be introverted, but like
I feel what you mean.
When we play pickup and when you're a ref, I think you have a pretty good grasp of like handling the field and whatnot. Well,
I appreciate that. Like I try to basically command, you know, respect, especially when I'm reffing, but in also in pickup. And I think you're right. I don't think I'm the stereotypical. I was just
you're introvert, but not
heavy introvert. Not super far on not super far on the side.
Not alone introvert.
No. I don't think so. I don't think so. But I wouldn't, nor would I want to be, because I value too much the like interpersonal relationships that I have. So to anyone that this can motivate, like, you know, there are people that think about you and respect you and love you. So, you know, just keep that up. Just remember that.
Sometimes when I think back about the high school, I thought it was a bit funny because we always hung out after school, basically. Almost every single day.
If we weren't practicing, and a lot of us were practicing together, but if we weren't practicing, we were just like hanging out, or like we were Jack's traxing, if you catch that reference.
Right. But that was mostly Fridays.
Yeah, but for sure. Weekends.
We still hung out like
even outside of that. Yeah. Did you ever like come over to my house after school and just like go ham on the trampoline, just jumping around and shit?
No, not really.
You weren't before. That was before we started hanging out. Yeah. That thing broke because like just a bunch of looking back on it, it's really funny. Like just a bunch of high school boys just like came back, and I guess we were little boys back then, didn't understand anything, but no, we would go back to my house and like get a drink, like either like a water or like a lemonade or something, and we'd all go out to the back to the trampoline and just jump around and like throw balls and like flip each other for like hours on end, and then everyone would go home and we'd just be like, that was a crazy one, bye. And then we'd all like go do our homework or whatever and run it back. But that was like early, I guess that was early high school or like maybe middle school.
When I started hanging out, it was usually go to your place, go to the pantry. Pantry where all the food is. And I just grab whatever food
we would just
and then go upstairs to play video games.
Grab snacks and like maybe sodas. We drank so many sodas back then.
When I first started hanging out and we went to your place, I didn't really talk back then. But I kind of just like followed in the back, and we went to your pantry, and I was all these food, and I was like, oh my god,
this food is everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I was like,
my parents still keep that pantry stocked to this day.
That's crazy because to me, I've never really seen so much of that. We don't keep stock of that at home. I was like, oh my god, I can just get whatever I want from here. Dude, it's like being a kid at a candy store.
That's crazy. That's really funny though. I didn't know that was your experience.
Of
that.
And then we grabbed sodas.
And head straight upstairs and game. for like years.
Yeah.
Remember that one night that you guys all slept over? That was the first time that that you actually like talked at length, and you were going ham talking to us about some stuff, and we were loving it and eating it up. And I can't say too much about that night or that experience, but
Right.
you know it. But only because it's just so long ago, so far away.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
No.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Oh.
I wonder why. We played
COD.
COD.
A lot of COD, Halo sometimes.
Yeah. You had a TV, right? TV,
Yeah.
and since it was just one TV, we all had to split. Like
Split screen.
Split screen. Let's
Yeah,
play
split screen.
Split screen. We all had to play on one screen, and some people were better at
Screen looking.
looking at where the other people were hiding.
Screen looking,
Alright.
aka screen cheating.
Yes, as Paul would say.
Screen looking and screen cheating was a hot debate topic back in the day throughout like our video game plays.
Right.
Yeah. I remember that.
Some people never. I don't think some people ever like screen look. Do they screen look?
There were some people that don't. I guess screen look would be the plural, or the past tense. The thing is like I feel like some people didn't, and then like other people did it casually,
Right.
and Goon used it to devastating effect. He was like looking at his screen like probably 10% of the time and just scouting out what people were. It was some messed up stuff.
Yeah, but
I hope he watches this too.
Right. How do you not screen look?
Yeah, you can't not. It's all on one.
You're all
TV.
sharing the screen, the same screen, and some people were complaining about it. I know they got killed.
I never. Yeah. That was the number one excuse for getting killed. It's like, you're such a screen looker. It's like, oh, I mean, yeah, a little bit. It's all on one screen.
Right.
That's so funny that you point that out, because the words are screen looker, and it's all just one screen. Of course I'm a screen looker. Like, come on.
Yeah, thinking back, like each individual screen was so tiny.
Yeah, you couldn't even like focus on that for the whole time.
Right.
You kind of had to look.
Yeah. I mean, I remember some games where we started playing, and I thought I killed a guy, and it turns out I was looking at the wrong screen. It wasn't even me that I was looking at.
I remember that happened all the time to me as a little kid in Mario Kart.
Oh yeah.
Remember Mario Kart?
Yeah.
Like, there's always like one game where you'll see someone who's just driving into the wall over and over again, and they think that there's someone else, so they think they're like in first or something, and like you just like, hey dude, what are you doing? It's like, yeah, I'm winning. What do you think? It's like, no, you're just driving into the wall. It's like, oh, I'm Peach.
Yeah.
Like, what? Time flies.
Also, since we live together now, I'm thinking some of my audience might be expecting more of you.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, you've caused expectations.
Right.
Oh boy. Did you say something in your intro? I know you did. You said something in your intro about how you'll be seeing a lot more videos of this guy. It's like, E-man, no. I'm just kidding.
And, yeah.
Okay, I mean,
I pointed out that I moved here,
Mhm.
and a lot of people have been asking me to like record like cribs, you know, MTV cribs.
Yeah. Just like
Stuff that.
do a walk around of the apartment.
Yeah.
Nice. Have you done that one yet?
No, not here, but
Nice,
that's in the
nice.
future.
Nice.
My room's a mess right now.
The hassles of moving stuff.
Yeah, I'm so tired of it.
Moving.
I'm so tired of moving.
Dude, trust me. I myself have not moved a lot recently, but
Right.
moving other people, it's so annoying.
You quit your job, right?
Yeah.
That was
Pretty recently.
Yeah, like
Pretty
that was like
recently.
kind of sounds like suddenly almost.
It did come out of the blue kind of suddenly, for
Right.
sure. But at the same time, I don't want to say too many things, about College Hunks
Right.
as like a company,
Right.
and so I'm gonna mostly like abstain from that because I've really like loved my time and respected working there
Right.
a lot and gave it my all. But it had kind of been coming though. Like it may have seemed sudden from the outside because like I was more or less enjoying it. I didn't enjoy it that much.
Yeah.
But more or less, like, thriving. But in my head, I was just kind of like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this much longer. And so the timing for me was just kind of like, you know, if you don't do this sooner rather than later, then it's just going to get harder because you're going to get more entrenched.
Right.
And personally, like, you get older. Like, you get older as every second goes by. Obviously, we're older than we were. We're older than we were, you know, the prior seconds. But still, like, sometimes you just like feel like you're aging. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I didn't want to be there that for longer. So it may have seemed out of the blue, but I think it was necessary, and I do think it was a good move. And I just don't want them to feel like I'm just quitting. And rather than this being like me trying to make a negative move for the company, I'm trying to make a positive move for myself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing that I think probably people always balance with when they're like leaving a job or something. It's like, well, I don't know. You want to be appreciative, but you also got to do what's right in your whatever your self or moral compass says is the right thing to do. So I mean, I gotta follow my intuition on this one. It could end up being a terrible decision, but you know, you won't know that until you try.
Right. But if you didn't follow it, there's a like regret.
Yeah.
That will set in later.
Yeah, there would have been a regret.
What could have?
You know what I mean?
Right.
You ever have any of those like hypothetical situations that you run through in your brain?
Yeah. But there's also something called the butterfly effect. You know,
Yeah.
Or it's like if you change something in the past, then the current will also change as well.
It's like that Ashton Kutcher movie, right? They did a movie about it.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I think there's one, but I haven't seen it either. So some people think that there are time travelers for real, like in the modern day. It's like you see these videos of people who are just like, yeah, this guy is from the year 2600 and he's got the watch to prove it. It's like, what watches have anything to do with anything? Show me how you time traveled. Like, come on.
Yeah. There's,
repeatable results. That's what you need. That's what science says you need to make something a reality. Sorry, go ahead.
That's the thing about current world is like news and so many stuff. We're overloaded with information.
Yeah.
It's like it's hard for us to differentiate the truth from like fiction because there's so much information out there.
Yeah. That's true. To discern like what's true and what's just being told to you is so difficult these days because so many different things and places and outlets are telling you a bunch of different things. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that if you trust, maybe I'm going back to this too much or harping on this too much, but if you just like trust your intuition and go with your gut feeling, a lot of times you're going to be right and you're going to do right. I truly think that. I truly feel that. Be guided by yourself. That's all. That's all I have to say.
Currently, I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I don't think you do either.
I feel that. Yeah. No. I have more time than I have had in a while since I'm like transitioning out of my job.
Right.
But I know what you're talking about. Like I didn't have any time to myself for a while.
Yeah.
And it's like you have all these things that you want to do and want to accomplish, but you just feel like you don't have the time. It's so interesting. I think more than anything else, time is like one of the most valuable commodities and like one of the most meaningful currencies that like we have in this life. And it's because the time, like as it goes on, composes our life. So
yeah, I agree. I was reading this thing where it's like, the days go by, you're busy, and like it's like a day goes by just like that, right?
Yeah.
and then that's called life.
Yeah.
You know, like days add up to weeks.
Yeah.
And to months, and that's it. Let's think back to like our high school, college days. Those, it just seems so recent.
Yeah.
And
it was going so fast too back then. It was like
back then I would think someone our age would be super mature.
Yeah, right.
Knows what's going on in the world, like knows everything. But
I mean,
I guess not.
You hear all the time. It's like people don't really have it figured out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like as you progress into adulthood or just like aging, you don't like figure everything out just magically one time. You're like constantly trying to figure it all out,
Right.
like the entire time.
Yeah.
And so like people give so much like credit and respect to elders, as they should, but like they also don't have it figured out. People that are older than you have like different struggles,
Right.
but like the same level of like, oh man, like I don't have this figured out. What am I gonna do?
Right.
It's a constant struggle. And when people try to tell you that they've got it figured out and they write like self-help books and stuff like that, they're lying. They're freaking lying.
A lot of them do, yeah. And some of the old people, they never mature beyond a certain age.
No, certainly not.
They don't learn anything new.
In fact, a lot of the times when you get to a certain age, it seems like a trend where people stop trying to learn and they like actively reject new information. You know, it's like, oh no, I'm used to this. Like, I don't want to deal with that.
Right.
It's like, man.
Yeah.
That's what I hope for myself in my like future is like I want to always have an open mind, like expansive. I don't ever want to like close off my specific thoughts because of something, because of a certain thing. I want to always be able to think freely and not be, influenced by too much. I don't know. Maybe that's too idealistic.
You've mentioned like maybe having like a roommate dinner sometimes. I think that's pretty good.
That's a good idea.
So what were you thinking?
Man, yeah, I'm sorry we haven't pulled the trigger on that yet.
No.
But like,
it's busy, so.
Yeah, let's pick a day of the week and just like, plan out recipes and like, ingredients that each of us can work on and then just come together to make a meal and eat it. Because it's one thing that you get a lot of gratitude out of cooking, or I do at least, because maybe gratitude's not the right word. Cooking is very beneficial and like relaxing and like cathartic, a whole bunch of adjectives that you could use to describe it. But cooking is just a good thing to do, and eating with someone else is pretty much always awesome. So I think people underrate it too, because as much time as I like am a loner and spend alone, like I really prefer to eat with others. That's kind of been
I noticed that.
I guess that's kind of been a thing of mine.
I don't think I've ever seen you cook ever since I moved in here.
And it's been like more than a week now?
About a week.
Yeah, I haven't cooked once, I don't think. I mean, I heated up some stuff, but that doesn't count as cooking. But you're right, I have eaten a lot out this week. And when I'm at work, I do such a bad job. Well, maybe we shouldn't go down this whole like path since we're trying to wrap up. But when I'm at work, I don't have the motivation to make a meal for myself the day before to take to work the next day.
Yeah.
And I know that I should, but I'm just like, it'd just be so easy to go get something fast. Like I can go places in my car and eat anywhere. It's like, sue me.
For lunch, do you guys go out at work?
Sometimes. A lot of times I'll be on the road, and so I'll just like stop in at fast food. Sometimes our company, like the upper management, will go out to lunch.
Yeah.
But I spend a lot of time zipping around from place to place. So a lot of times I just eat in the intervals, in the breaks.
Yeah.
So, not good. Not good eating fast food as much as I do. But hey, we're all human.
Same here. That's one thing I've been trying to improve on, and gotta get those like containers so I could take them to work.
Yeah.
We gotta do I also gotta do a crib. Like a
Yeah.
crib video.
Yeah, check it out.
I don't know. This is it. This is my roommate. Oh, intro and outro in Misa. Like a roommate in here. The video thang apo mula ngayong. Okay. Anything you wanna add to the end?
Thanks for joining.
Yeah. Sounds like my song there, my. Alright.
Cool. I'll never know what you said. Or maybe I will. ATL. ATL hope. Oh.